guide them that how can they save tax and all that.
So I'll pick some topic. Pick this topic. The topic is education. I don't know if you've had a chat on that before or not, but we'll have a chat on this today, right?
I mean,
Topic
education is the topic we can chat on any day or for
any
any
day we can talk
longer.
about it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. There's a lot. You know, lot of ideas are there. A lot of things are there. We can definitely chat about that. So education. First thing I'd like to ask you, Raj. What do you think that does education impact on getting jobs? If yes, then to what extent does it impact on, how much money one can make? Do you think that happens? It impacts much?
For that, I would like to first explain the kind of situations we are in, like
Okay.
our country or the different states. So, like in some states, there are no facilities at all. If I talk about the northern state, Bihar, UP, and other states as well. So,
Hmm.
the people belonging from lower middle class or the poor background, what kind of facilities they have
Hmm.
when it comes to education or the opportunities after they clear their plus two or graduation maybe.
Hmm.
So they have no opportunities at all. All
Hmm.
they have to do is to apply for different government jobs or different other entrance exam. If they are doing good, if they
Hmm.
get selected, it's good for them. Otherwise, there is no industry at all. So people are migrating for job, and all
Jobs.
they get with that kind of floppy education they are getting just for just a degree of BCom or BE or whatever it is, maybe bachelor degree, I would say.
Hmm.
Then on the basis of that, they are getting a, I mean, mediocre job.
Mediocre. Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
to that extent, I mean, in that context, I can say that yes, education,
Education.
the kind of education we are getting,
Yeah.
that does make us difference in whatever job we are doing or whatever amount we are making in form of salaries.
Hmm.
Because if we are spending more on different different courses which are lucrative, which provide lucrative job like MBA, like there are so many fields in which MBAs are being done or MBAs are being offered. I
Hmm.
cannot even name all those things.
Hmm.
I can say only MBA,
Hmm.
but MBA in
There are various.
financial marketing, yeah. So
Yeah.
the lines, the
Hmm.
different line, the different fields are there.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So if we go to the states like Mumbai or uh, the southern part,
Cities.
we
Hmm.
do get so many varieties, or
Hmm.
in terms of the courses that are being offered to students.
Hmm. A lot
So
of
if
options
they
are there.
spend, yeah, if they spend the money on all those courses, they are definitely, according to that, they are making those monies. So
Hmm.
yes, in that context, I can say, but first of all, I would like to say that the way we are treating it, it is not education at all. I mean, the we have made we have converted education into commercialization.
Right.
For everything, there are so many courses, and all those courses are, I mean, charging heavy amount
Hmm.
that only the people who have a good financial background can
can
afford.
can afford it. Right, right. But that is
But
about, you are right now talking about higher education, Raj. In fact, I believe that from very lower education, like very early stage in life, in schools, let's talk about that. The kind of education which is provided in schools, I don't think that is also up to the mark. What do you think? The kind of education which is provided in school, and I'm really not talking about cities and small towns, and that difference is there, that I understand. But still,
yeah,
in major big cities, also the kind of education and the way it is provided, the whole system, I don't think that's very up to the mark. What do you think?
I mean, I cannot agree more on this with you, because if we talk about the government schools or the state board schools, they are in very dull condition. But
Hmm.
even if we are talking about the cities are like CBSE or ICSE board even,
Hmm.
then those all those schools, they are not providing any good
Hmm.
type of education even in early age, and they are charging so much
Hmm.
that their fees and all those things are there,
Hmm.
like the rules of purchasing uniform and all other kind of stuff from the school only.
Hmm.
All those things are there.
Hmm.
And why I'm including all this, because if you treat all these things, those people, the children who are reading, they are also going through all these things. I mean, if you talk about the nursery cases or plus two one or two, I mean one class one or two, they are not able to understand. But those who are reading in standard four or five,
Studying in
they
class
are,
4.
yeah, they are studying in classes four and standard four or five or six.
Hmm.
They are getting all those things, they can understand all these things.
Hmm.
So these things are not making a good impact on them as well.
Correct.
So they are getting ingrained of all this behavior in their childhood time. So
Hmm.
whenever
Like since
they
the very
upskill,
beginning,
yeah,
they are
since the
getting
beginning they are
habitual of this,
getting habituated of all these things, and when they have grown up, even they cannot differentiate all those things.
all
So
those things.
so many of them get in the trap of all these things.
Hmm.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, that is a very good point that you've picked on, Raj. But there's one more thing that I'm addressing here is the pattern of educating kids. The way teachers educate kids, the books and all the courses are okay. I'm not going into that. What is right? What is wrong? Should that be teach? Should that be taught to the students in that particular class or not? That is, I'm not the right person to talk about all of that. But the way teachers teach them, the mindset, like you have to focus upon getting good grades. It doesn't really matter if a child is good in other things, or the child is having some skills in arts, or maybe singing or dancing and or sports, all sort of thing. That doesn't really matter. What matters is that how much are you scoring in maths and science and or these subjects. And that is,
I
I
mean,
think, is
yeah,
not a right way to teach, or how to deal with students. Because a student is, since the very beginning, uh, they think that only this is important: getting marks, or getting first or second or third position in the class, and getting competitive and all these things, and that's it. So in my opinion, I don't think this should be the way. What do you think? Should focus be that? Is it a right way to deal with kids at that age or not?
I mean, of course, this is not right way. This is what we talk generally, that
Hmm.
these are the things that we need to change. And to
Hmm.
some extent, some of the schools are maybe changing it. Some
These
schools,
days, I
yeah,
can say
of
yes,
course,
but
some
back then when
schools,
we were in school,
yeah,
it was nothing like that.
yeah, and even today, all those like I said earlier that the state board schools or the local private schools, or even those schools, even the local CBSE private schools, all those schools, they are not up to that mark. Only the
Hmm.
one that are really famous, that pay a heavy amount for their teachers, they are highly qualified.
ID
So
qualified. Hmm.
they can think all these things, and maybe they are trying to change the scenario a little bit, but
Hmm.
more often the situation are same across the country,
Right, right.
and that should be changed.
That should be changed. And one more thing that bothers me very much, that at the level of class 10th, Raj, we all have to decide our streams, the field that we have to choose. And on the basis of that, probably our whole career or our whole life is sort of decided. People who opt for science go in the science field only. There are very few people who change the stream later on, or something like that. Uh, in class 10th, we all decide that, right? We are too young to
Hmm.
decide that what our career should be and what should we opt. And Do you think that is right? And what exactly can be done to change that if you think that that is not right?
I mean, you picked the right question here. We do tend to focus on this, that whether we are going to take which stream, and that decides our career. And we are, I mean, the kind of changes we are trying to focus on, like, because if we talk about the new education policies there, certain kind of changes are there, that now, from now onwards, we can choose different subjects and not the
Subjects.
streams. Different
Yeah, not
subjects
just
can be chosen according to the students interest and all.
interest
And
and all.
I mean, no matter what we talk, or how much I mean, areas we provide to students, at that kind of age, they are not able to decide what is
Decide.
good for them. So they need to get certain kind of what guidance as well.
Guidance,
But
counseling.
but but in terms of guidance,
Huh.
instead of guiding them, they are imposed. Like if
Hmm.
we talk about our time, or
Yeah.
even today, the situation has not changed that well. Most
Ah,
of the students are imposed that you have to take science, because if you are not studying science, you are a dull student.
right. Right.
So I mean, the situation has changed a bit, maybe
Ah,
in some cities, but more, I mean, overall, if it take it, the overall condition, the situation has not changed that much even today. So all
ah.
these things should be changed.
Right. I mean, back then, I don't know about imposing this, the decision, but it really used to happen like this. There were two, three factors to decide the stream. Not like we have taste, but the thing is that where your friends are going, what your friends are opting for, you will also opt the same stream. Or if you got good marks, like very good marks, then you'll go for science. It doesn't really matter if you like science or not. That's a completely different question.
Yeah,
But if you
right.
got good marks in science, then you'll probably opt for science. If a little less, then you'll go for commerce, and way too less, then you'll go for arts. That is how it used to, everyone used to decide that. And where your friends are going, or majority of the class is opting for what, you definitely go and opt it. That is what, when I was in school, I opted the stream that I opted for in the same manner. It's not that I had any interest or anything like that. It is very later on in life when I realized that, oh, I don't know if I have that interest or not. I'm not really sure, and all of that. When I gathered this information around, when I got outside in the world after passing school and all of it, but at that time it was too late. It was too late to change the stream or go into somewhere else. But
Correct.
exactly, that is why I think that class 10th is, a kid is too early. That's too early for him or her to decide that what their career should be. So in my opinion, proper counseling, proper guidance should be given to the child at that particular time, you know
Right.
and well, a lot of changes is required. My list can go on with the with the education changes in the education system, for that matter. Raj, okay, all right. And you are also in education right now, Raj. Yeah, your profession is that only teaching, is it?
Yeah,
If I
right.
remember
Yes.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So you've also opted. What sort of ways do you quickly? I just want to ask, what sort of ways do you have opted for?
I have explained it so many times to
Ah,
different tutors. Maybe I have explained to you as well, that
ah,
I was
ah,
not good in studies at all, and I didn't want to study at all. But
ah.
the thing was that I realized that, okay, whatever my dreams are, I'm not going to get opportunity in all those things, so I will have to study. And on
Okay.
that part, when I started focusing on studies, I could hardly used to decide anything on my own. Just the way you said, all those things were there. That okay, the friends are doing this, so let's try hand it in.
Hmm.